don't get to precede your shows with a soliloquy about the context.
I really am a naive 8-year-old.
You know what I mean? It's like every time I've edited, when you put together, but it's a good question, because when you put together shows, whenever I've edited something with someone else, one of the reasons I love doing my show is that I edit it myself, because when you edit with somebody and they're doing something that's not working, and you go, or when somebody shows me something of theirs, like if I have a friend who's doing a TV show and they show me a cut of it, and I go, this part was confusing, I'm not getting that, and then they explain it to me. No, see, this is from before when he did the thing, and that when I showed that, and I always say to them, well, as long as you're sitting next to every viewer giving that explanation, then go ahead and cut it that way. But people take stuff in this raw way. And most people don't really remember what they saw, and most people don't really take in about 60% of what they're watching. So I think the context of Lucky Louie was that no show looked like it. No one knew why the fuck we would make a show that looks like that. And no one had ever seen a show that had a basic 3-camera family format where we would say cunt and fuck.
Laughs too, by the way. I went back and forth with the critic because the laughs were so booming,
yes,
that people thought, and this is one of the things I loved about you, is that you would never sweeten, and you did not, like a lot of times we would do a joke, it didn't work, and you'd come to me and go, all right, what do you got, let's try something else. We would try something else, sometimes that would work, sometimes it wouldn't, but you always left it. If the joke didn't get a 9, you left it as a 6. You didn't change. Those were real laughs.
Well, a show is supposed to have a ebb and flow. Any scene in any show should have a quiet part, a loud part, explosions, parts where you come back a little bit. It's like watching a baseball game. You're watching a game develop. You're watching the show, you're watching the guy's at-bat develop. You're watching him work the count to 3-1, whatever it is. And then you know, wow, there's potential now because there's 3-1. Oh, fuck, he missed. So now it's even potential. You're watching this, and then when the guy hits a home run, it's a huge victory. But the way people make TV now is that they just wanted to. I mean, what would it be like if every baseball game was just home runs?
Right.
Home runs. No, not even outs. Just till everybody gets tired and goes home.
Yeah.
It's boring. So to me, a show should have this natural feeling to it, which our show did. A scene would develop. Some parts would work, some parts wouldn't. Some parts would explode, and it would mean something. Instead of this, every TV show now just has exactly the same laugh for every joke. It's unwatchable to me.
It's awful.
But it is what TV has been. And had been when Lucky Louie came on. What was that, 2005?
It might have been 6 or 5 or 6. Yeah, it might have been 5.
So I'm going to say there was a good 25 years of TV made exactly the same way. How the fuck do you beat that? I mean, how do you come on and not be seen as just a jarring, strange, and intelligent people didn't understand it. Intelligent people said there's a laugh track. I mean, we even had us saying, like when they did in Happy Days, when Happy Days came on, there was a credibility problem for sitcoms because of the laugh track. They had overused the laugh track. So Gary Marshall on the Three's Company, Happy Days, and Laverne and Shirley, they had one of the characters say Happy Days was filmed before a live audience. They said it out loud.
Yes.
They didn't even print it. They said it out loud to make sure you knew that they're not fucking, that these laughs are real. We did the same thing. We felt like we needed to do this.
Pam would do it, right?
Pamela did it. I did it. Did you ever do one?
I never did one, no.
And then we did that, and people would, fucking professional TV reviewers would watch the show, hear that with their ears, and they would write canned laughter.
You know what's and this is what they didn't see, is a lot of times before the show, you'd go out and talk to the audience, and I remember you saying something to the effect of, don't laugh if you don't think it's funny. If you think it's funny, laugh. If you don't think it's funny, don't laugh. You really, you kind of told the crowd it was okay just to relax and react naturally, which to me just makes people feel comfortable to laugh.
Well, I still say that when I film stand-up for my show now, because a lot of my show has me doing stand-up at the club, at the Comedy Cellar, I tell that audience, because every audience thinks they're an actor in the show. But they're supposed, like, because you go to, like, Letterman or TV tapings, and they tell you to really go nuts. And I don't think anything sickens me more than manufactured enthusiasm. People, when, this guy, woo, and they all go fucking bananas.
It's hard.
You're left out of it. I don't think anyone, I mean, like, I remember when I did Hilarious, the first time I did produced my own special was chewed up, and the producers said, "We want you to look like you're a rock star when you walk on that stage." And I said, "Why? I'm not. I'm a comedian, and I don't. When I'm watching something, I don't like Dane's special Vicious Circle when it comes out to and there's a stadium of people cheering him on. If you're a new viewer and you don't know who this guy is, you're like, well, I guess this is some party I missed because I just want to watch a person go on and earn their credibility from scratch. So I tell the audiences at the Comedy Cellar, don't have it. You're here because I'm doing a show for you. You're the audience. So make me earn it. Don't laugh if it's not funny.
I also feel embarrassed when they're too hyped up and I walk out. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to live up to this. And I know you were put up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
When they do a special, I went bananas when I just used shooting for HBO. Yeah. And they were having, we were doing Down and Dirty, and they were having the audiences laugh. Give us a laugh. And the crowd laughs.
That's the worst thing in the world. And I've had fights with directors about that they want to get laughs for editing purposes. If you can't edit a concert without those extra laughs, you're a fucking moron. It's hard. It's a challenge. Like, I've had moments where you're trying to make an edit in a special that's got a hiccup in it and you go find a piece of a laugh somewhere else to use or a piece of applause, and it never ends up working anyway. You end up just doing another cut. But when they do that to an audience, they make an audience feel like assholes, and they lose a lot of your credibility before you come out.
Because then then the reaction becomes almost like when someone pokes you, you go, ow! It's almost like, ah! They understand the rhythm of the punchline.
Yes.
And it's not fucking natural.
They're not listening anymore.
It's so encouraging to see that, because it's like, you didn't clean up, you didn't fucking change who you are, you're still the same fucking despicable wretch, and it's like, you're doing it, I was like, your way, but you're doing what you want to do, and it's fucking working, man. And it's like, what inside of you gives you the fucking ability to do that and not just go, fuck this, I'm humiliated, I can't do it?
Well, it's every failure I've ever had, because I have failed hard, and I've been the center of negative attention, at least twice, with Pootie Tang and Lucky Louie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that enjoyed trashing that show.
Yeah, they did, right? It was fucking irritating.
And there was people that attacked it unnecessarily. I remember after we were on the air for 8 months, we had weathered the storm. There was this feeling like we had our bad reviews, we had our good reviews, and with that information, the American public is deciding to watch the show. We're growing. And then a reviewer here in New York, David Bianculli,
scumbag,
he didn't review the show. The Daily News, his paper, had reviewed it with another reviewer who said positive things about it. He didn't write a review and analyzing the show, which I think is what critical writing is supposed to be, analysis of art. I think it's a legitimate field to be an expert in television, watch TV shows, and then write an analysis. When critics are supposed to do this, write what the show is like, describe it from a professional point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just a viewer, but this is what this show is. I don't think it works because of these reasons. Here's the historical context of it. It's much like this show, much like this other. Here's what I think they're trying to do. Here's where I think they fail. Right. But he didn't do that. He wrote, one of these reviewers believe that they should be affecting how TV's made, and they think they should, they like that power. So he wrote an article that the gist of it was HBO needs to cancel Lucky Louie, even though it only has 4 episodes left. And even though HBO doesn't need to cancel shows because they don't sell advertising, if you have a show that's ratings are poor, the advertisers are losing money. So you have to cancel it before it's finished. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
HBO is a subscription service, and it doesn't have a reason to cancel. There's by canceling a show. And our ratings were increasing. So David Bianculli wrote, they should cancel the show to make a statement that they know the show is a mistake. And he put people's fucking jobs on the line. He doesn't, you know what I mean? If you don't like a show, that's one thing. And if you write and trumpet your hatred for a show, you're welcome to do it. But there are people who like it, and there are people who are making it, and it's their life. Like, it was just, to me, it was like a way overstepping. Like, who the fuck needs to read this?
Didn't he get? He's not with the Daily News.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think he was fired, or
might be a guy who I'd read something else of his that I would, but he took this.
No, I detest him. I hope he's a lump somewhere.
Reason to fucking write that, and I wrote him an email telling him that I objected and then I erased it. I've done that a lot. I've written a lot of angry emails and erased them just as a way to get it out. But Anyway, you asked me some a long time ago. The point is, I've been the center of attention, of negative attention, a couple of times. I've had my worst nightmare come true, and I survived it. It didn't hurt me as badly as I thought it would. And indeed, I gained every time, gained hugely. And I wouldn't trade those bad experiences for anything. So what that tells me is when I start trying something, the bad version of it, I could take it. Like, I have no fear because my worst fears have been realized, and it wasn't so bad. It would be like if you started boxing and you're like, I'm afraid to get punched in the face. Anybody is. And your first few times you get punched in the face, you're like, I don't hate this.
Right.
And I'm good at the boxing.
And I'm not dead.
I'm not dead. I don't hate it. And I'm succeeding sometimes. Why? This is what I'm going to do. You know what I mean?
And you have complete control here.
Oh, at FX is totally unbridled control. But it comes with good. I mean, it comes with credibility. I've had failures, but I've turned shit out. And by the way, the 2 failures that I've had have both, in my view, been vindicated by people watching. People still watch like